The sun rose quietly, its rays painting the forest in soft hues of gold. Buddha stood beneath a massive banyan tree. Disciples gathered around him, anticipation filling the morning air. Their journey had been long, marked by seeking answers to life's deepest questions. Buddha began speaking, his voice calm, yet powerful. Restlessness, he said, is born from ignorance, which blinds the mind to life's impermanence. The disciples leaned closer, eager for wisdom. Many chase desires, thinking they will find peace, he continued. Yet desires feed restlessness, a fire burning endlessly within the heart. A young monk asked, "How does ignorance cause such unrest, Master?" Buddha turned his gaze to him, serene as ever. "Ignorance grows when one believes permanence exists in the fleeting," Buddha replied. His words lingered in the air. Impermanence surrounds us. Seasons change, rivers flow, bodies age. Another disciple added, "But surely we can hold on to joy and avoid sorrow." Buddha smiled softly, acknowledging his innocence. Joy and sorrow arise together, inseparable as light and shadow, he explained. To cling to one is to invite the other, the disciples murmured, their minds wrestling with the complexities of truth. Buddha's teachings unraveled their long-held beliefs. "Picture a man running toward the horizon," Buddha said. "Does he not realize the horizon moves as he does?" The disciples nodded thoughtfully, picturing the futile chase described. "Likewise," Buddha said, "we chase stability in an impermanent world, driven by ignorance of reality's nature." Silence filled the group as realization dawned. Buddha continued teaching, each sentence like a drop of water in the ocean of wisdom. "Restlessness thrives in minds untrained to see clearly," Buddha explained. "Its antidote lies in understanding, in seeing things as they are." A bird landed on a branch above, drawing the disciples' attention momentarily. Buddha used the moment, his eyes fixed on the bird. "Do you see its feathers?" he asked gently. The disciples nodded, curious about the meaning behind the question. "Its feathers will fall," Buddha said. "Yet the bird flies, indifferent to what it cannot keep forever." The disciples marveled at the simplicity of the metaphor. "We, too, must live knowing that what we cherish will change," Buddha added. One elder disciple asked, "But if all changes, where can we find rest, Master?" Buddha turned to him with compassion. "Rest is found in accepting change, not resisting it," he explained. The elder disciple looked relieved, clarity settling in his mind. Buddha recounted his own journey, reflecting on the foresights that reshaped his life. "An old man showed me life's fragility," Buddha began. "A sick man revealed the body's vulnerability." The disciples listened intently, imagining Buddha's transformative encounters. A corpse demonstrated life's impermanence, and an ascetic inspired a search beyond suffering. The young monk asked, "Master, what did you feel when you saw the ascetic?" Buddha paused, reflecting on his younger self. "Hope," he said simply, his voice warm and steady. "Hope that peace exists beyond the shadows of craving." A breeze rustled the leaves, carrying Buddha's words deeper into the disciples' hearts. "Restlessness," Buddha continued, "can be calmed through mindfulness, through observing without attachment." He knelt, tracing lines in the dirt with his finger. The lines formed a circle, endless and complete. "See this circle," Buddha said. "It represents existence, a cycle of birth, suffering, death, and rebirth." The disciples studied the drawing, intrigued by its simplicity. Restlessness traps us within this cycle, until we understand its nature, Buddha explained. The disciples felt the weight of his words, contemplating their own lives. Another monk asked, "Master, how do we escape this cycle?" Buddha's eyes sparkled with quiet determination. "Through the Eightfold Path," he answered. "Right view, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness." and concentration guide us toward liberation. Buddha's voice carried certainty, inspiring hope among the disciples. Restlessness fades when one walks this path with diligence, Buddha added. The disciples began discussing the steps, eager to learn their intricacies. Buddha observed their enthusiasm, knowing that understanding would take time. Patience is key, Buddha said. Like a seed becoming a tree, understanding grows gradually. A disciple asked, Master, is it wrong to feel restless on this journey? Buddha smiled kindly, his wisdom flowing effortlessly. No, he said, restlessness is natural, for minds unused to truth struggle before finding clarity. The disciple nodded, reassured by Buddha's words. Buddha gestured toward the forest surrounding them. The trees do not resist the wind, he said. Yet they remain rooted. The disciples admired the trees, their strength and flexibility resonating deeply. Be like the trees, Buddha encouraged. Remain grounded in truth, yet open to life's currents. The young monk asked again, Master, how did you overcome your own restlessness? Buddha's gaze softened as he recalled his transformation. I faced it, he said. Sat beneath the Bodhi tree, confronting illusions until truth emerged. The monk felt inspired by Buddha's perseverance, vowing to follow his example. Restlessness, Buddha said, does not vanish through avoidance but through understanding its source. The disciples felt the depth of his words, imagining themselves confronting their own struggles. Buddha's teachings sparked courage, igniting a resolve to move forward on their journey. A bird sang from a nearby branch. Breaking the silence briefly, Buddha looked toward it, his expression serene. Even the song ends, he said. Yet the moment remains precious. Not because it lasts, but because it exists. The disciples pondered this, appreciating the fleeting beauty around them. The elder disciple asked, Master, what is the greatest illusion feeding restlessness? Buddha answered, the belief that permanence can be found where impermanence reigns. The elder disciple felt a surge of understanding, realizing his own attachment to illusions. Buddha's teachings settled deeply within the disciples, each one finding personal meaning. The morning passed, wisdom flowing like a river through their minds. Buddha concluded, restlessness is a teacher, guiding us toward truth when approached with mindfulness. The disciples bowed, their hearts filled with gratitude. The forest remained quiet, bearing witness to the profound exchange. Buddha rose, his presence radiating calmness and strength. The disciples followed, ready to embark on their journey toward understanding and rest. The sun ascended higher, its light a reminder of impermanence yet carrying warmth and hope. Restlessness gave way to determination, the disciples' hearts stirred by Buddha's wisdom. The banyan tree stood tall, its shade a refuge for seekers of truth. Buddha's teachings echoed through the forest, carried by the wind to future generations. Another day, another dawn broke over the Naranjara River, its waters shimmering under the gentle light of the morning sun. Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his eyes closed in deep meditation. Disciples arrived silently, the stillness a balm for their restless minds. The atmosphere was serene, carrying the weight of unspoken wisdom. Seeking, Buddha began. His voice calm, is like wandering in darkness without a lantern. It burns the heart with unfulfilled yearning. The disciples listened attentively, their own paths filled with longing and uncertainty. We seek answers outside ourselves, believing they will quench inner thirst, he continued. A disciple asked, Master, how do we stop seeking when the heart craves peace? Buddha opened his eyes slowly, gazing at him. First, he said, understand that craving arises from a false belief that peace exists in possessions. The words resonated deeply, stirring quiet reflections among the group. Buddha gestured toward the river, its flow steady and unrelenting. Observe the water, he said. It seeks no permanence, yet it moves with purpose. The disciples turned to the river, its gentle currents symbolizing life's rhythm. Buddha continued, seeking peace outside oneself is like trying to grasp water. Impossible, the disciples murmured, reflecting on their own futile pursuits. Buddha shared a moment from his past, his tone steady yet introspective. Years ago, I fasted until my body trembled, believing austerity would bring liberation, Buddha said. Yet suffering deepened. Rest eluded me. A young monk asked, Master, why does suffering remain despite seeking truth? Buddha responded, his gaze piercing yet gentle. Because the seeker clings to illusions, unaware that truth cannot be sought. It must be realized. The disciples felt the weight of his wisdom, their own struggles mirrored in his words. Balance, Buddha said, is the key to conquering restlessness. Neither indulgence nor denial can extinguish its flames. He reached out, picking up a fallen leaf. This leaf belongs neither to the earth nor to the sky, he said. Yet it exists harmoniously. The disciples studied the leaf, its simplicity carrying profound meaning. Seek not extremes, Buddha advised. Harmony exists in the middle way, in living without clinging or rejecting. His words brought clarity, illuminating paths obscured by doubt. The disciples nodded, their resolve strengthened. A monk asked, Master, how do we walk the middle way without faltering? Buddha smiled, his eyes reflecting deep compassion. Through mindfulness, he said, be present with each step, aware of the mind's tendencies to wander. The monk felt reassured, understanding the importance of mindfulness. Years ago, Buddha continued, I sat beneath this tree, vowing not to rise until truth emerged. His voice carried quiet determination, inspiring awe among the disciples. Temptations visited me, illusions whispered lies, yet I remained steadfast, seeking only understanding. Another disciple asked, Master, what gave you the strength to endure temptation? Buddha answered, faith in truth's power, in its ability to free the restless mind from ignorance. The disciple felt inspired, his own faith deepening in Buddha's teachings. The wind stirred the trees, their leaves rustling softly in harmony with nature's rhythm. Buddha spoke again, his voice serene yet purposeful. Seeking without understanding is like walking blindfolded, each step uncertain, each destination unknown. The disciples felt the depth of his metaphor, their hearts moved by his clarity. Do you see the sun? Buddha asked, his gaze lifting toward the sky. It shines effortlessly, needing no external force to fulfill its purpose. The disciples studied the sun, its warmth comforting yet humbling. Likewise, rest comes when one realizes that truth resides within, not without. A disciple asked, Master, how do we silence the mind's endless questions? Buddha responded, by listening, not answering. Questions fade when the mind understands life's impermanence and interconnectedness. The disciples pondered this, appreciating the simplicity of his answer. Buddha's teachings unraveled their restless thoughts. Seeking ends, Buddha said, not when answers are found but when understanding emerges, freeing the heart from craving. His words carried a quiet finality, a truth undeniable yet comforting. The disciples felt their minds settle, clarity shining where doubt once lingered. Temptations, Buddha continued, are like clouds, obscuring the sun but never extinguishing its light. The disciples marveled at the metaphor, recognizing their own struggles within it. Buddha added, face temptations mindfully, not fearfully, knowing they are transient like shadows. A young disciple asked, Master, is it wrong to feel discouraged while seeking truth? Buddha smiled gently, his wisdom flowing like the river beside them. No, he said, discouragement arises when expectations cloud understanding. Release expectations, and clarity will follow. Buddha gestured toward a branch swaying gently in the wind. "Do you see the branch?" he asked. "It moves, yet it does not break under pressure." The disciples admired its resilience, finding inspiration in its simplicity. "Be like the branch," Buddha encouraged. "Adapt to life's currents without losing your foundation." Another disciple asked, "Master, how do we nurture understanding amid confusion?" Buddha answered, "Through patience, through observing life's truths without judgment or attachment." The disciple nodded, his heart filled with gratitude for Buddha's guidance. The river's gentle flow mirrored the steady rhythm of Buddha's teachings, each word like a drop of wisdom. Disciples felt their hearts lighten, their minds clear as the sun ascended higher. Buddha concluded, "Restlessness fades not by seeking peace but by living in harmony with life's truths." The disciples bowed, their gratitude profound, their spirits uplifted by Buddha's wisdom. The Bodhi tree stood tall, its shade a refuge for seekers of truth. Buddha's teachings carried through the forest, their echoes reaching minds yearning for understanding. Another day passed, the quest for truth unending yet filled with hope and determination. Buddha remained beneath the Bodhi tree, his presence a beacon guiding souls toward liberation. Restlessness surrendered to harmony, seeking transformed into understanding. Another day, another moment of enlightenment washed over Buddha as he stood in the shade of a majestic Bodhi tree. The disciples gathered quietly, their eyes reflecting the hope of seeking peace and understanding. Buddha's gaze turned toward the horizon, his thoughts steady. "Rest," Buddha began, "is not found in what you grasp but in what you release with mindfulness and wisdom." The disciples leaned closer, their hearts yearning for clarity. "The heart clings to desires," Buddha continued, "believing that fulfillment lies in possession. Yet possession feeds suffering." A disciple asked, "Master, how do we free ourselves from clinging when the mind refuses to let go?" Buddha answered calmly, "Through awareness," he said. "See each desire clearly, knowing its impermanence, and it will lose its hold on the mind." The wind stirred the trees, their rustling echoing Buddha's profound words. "Rest arises not from avoiding suffering but from understanding its nature," Buddha explained. The disciples nodded, their resolve strengthening. "Suffering teaches us where ignorance hides." Urging the mind toward wisdom, he added. Buddha walked toward the river, its gentle flow a metaphor for life's transient nature. "Observe the water," he said. "It moves forward effortlessly, carrying no burden." The disciples admired the river, finding inspiration in its simplicity. "Be like the water," Buddha encouraged. "Move with life's flow, unburdened by attachment." Another monk asked, "Master, is true rest possible while living in this world?" Buddha turned to him with compassion. "Yes," he replied, "but rest requires the mind to relinquish illusions and embrace life's impermanence fully." His answer resonated deeply, planting seeds of understanding. A disciple knelt before Buddha, his voice trembling with emotion. "Master," he said, "I fear letting go will leave me empty." Buddha smiled gently, acknowledging his vulnerability. "Emptiness," he said, "is not a void but a space where wisdom and peace can flourish." The sun rose higher, its warmth spreading across the landscape, mirroring the clarity of Buddha's teachings. "Rest," Buddha continued, "is the cessation of craving, the freedom from the restless pursuit of what cannot be kept." The disciples contemplated their own cravings, their hearts stirred by Buddha's words. Years ago, Buddha shared, "I sat beneath this tree, facing restlessness with unwavering determination." His voice carried quiet strength, inspiring awe among the disciples. "I realized that restlessness thrives in minds unaware of the interconnectedness and impermanence governing existence." A young monk asked, "Master, how did you accept impermanence without fear?" Buddha responded, his tone steady yet compassionate. by recognizing that impermanence is not an enemy but a truth guiding the soul toward liberation. He explained. The wind carried Buddha's words deeper into the disciples' hearts. Their doubts fading like shadows under sunlight, Buddha gestured toward the forest, its trees standing tall despite the wind's force. Do you see the trees? He asked. They bend, yet they do not break. The disciples admired the trees, their strength and flexibility symbolizing resilience in the face of life's challenges. Rest comes when the mind learns to bend with life's truths without losing its foundation, Buddha said. His words brought clarity, inspiring hope among the group. Another disciple asked, Master, how do we remain grounded when distractions pull us away? Buddha answered, through mindfulness, through anchoring the mind in the present moment without clinging to the past or fearing the future. Buddha's teachings unfolded like petals of a lotus, their beauty lying in simplicity and depth. The disciples felt their hearts lighten, their minds clear as they listened to his wisdom. Rest, Buddha said, is not achieved through seeking but through surrendering to life's truths without resistance. The elder disciple asked, Master, what is the greatest obstacle to rest? Buddha replied, the illusion that rest exists in possession, in holding on to what impermanence will inevitably take away. His answer brought realization, shaking long-held beliefs among the disciples. A bird sang from a nearby branch, its melody drawing smiles from the group. Buddha used the moment, his gaze fixed on the bird. Even its song ends, Buddha said, yet the moment remains precious. Not because it lasts, but because it is. The disciples pondered the beauty of fleeting moments, appreciating the wisdom in Buddha's words. Another monk asked, Master, how do we cherish impermanence without sorrow? Buddha replied, by understanding that impermanence creates the space for life's ever-changing beauty and growth. The river's flow mirrored the steady rhythm of Buddha's teachings, each word like a drop of wisdom. The disciples felt their minds settle, clarity emerging where restlessness once thrived. Rest comes not from avoiding change but from embracing it with awareness and acceptance, Buddha said. Buddha concluded, his voice steady and calm. The path to rest is the Eightfold Way: right view, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration. The disciples bowed, their gratitude profound, their spirits uplifted by Buddha's guidance. Another day passed, the quest for truth continuing with renewed determination and hope. Buddha remained beneath the Bodhi tree, his presence a beacon guiding souls toward peace. Restlessness surrendered to understanding, the heart finding solace in Buddha's teachings. You fear instability, he said, addressing the heart of my concern. But in fearing instability, you block the growth it offers. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.